here's the chat today, right? And I titled it, pardon me, but is that a crab in your eye? And the reason I put that in there is because of the, Luke 6:41 is the one that talks about, don't worry about the speck in your brother's eye when you have a log in your eye, right? So what happened is I had a couple of people that really kind of gave me a hard time. I love that, by the way. Give me a hard time, bring it, I got you, right? But they were giving me a ration, if you will, because when I was talking about how you had to eliminate people or you had to edit their opinions. We talk about that all the time, right? We talk about how you've got to take somebody and like, listen, if it's family, I get it, but you can edit the value of their opinion, right? It's cheap seats, expensive seats, opinions, and okay, I don't need to beat it up. But here's the deal. In the spirit of fairness, I'm going to get into this element of criticism. I'm probably going to throw myself under the bus a little bit just to make it fair, right? But this is big, right? I get that having the conversation and saying that there might be people in your life, there might be thinking, mindsets, there might be habits or rituals in your world that don't serve you. I get that it may not be the most politically correct thing in the world, but it doesn't make it wrong. Okay. So here it is. Some of you know this about me, but I have a critical eye. And frankly, I think it's probably one of the reasons that I've been successful in business. When I was a consultant, I could very quickly walk into an organization and figure out who wasn't serving it correctly, right? I could figure it out, right? Okay, who are the bad eggs? What are the processes that aren't working? When I was doing flips, I could very quickly go into an old dilapidated home, condo, whatever, and I could see, you know what I'm talking about? Like you could, like a critical eye, oh, this is bad, and if you fix this and you fix that, like all of a sudden it's worth something, right? Those are all really good. And then when I got into coaching, I had the ability to sort of see and identify the things that were holding other people back from the success that they wanted. So this was all great. Obviously, you should probably pray for Shannon and the boys, right? Because that does, I don't leave that at the office, right? I mean, that's something that's sort of built into me, and I don't know where it came from, but it is the way I work, right? And the reality is that those people, those of us that have a negative slant, that critical thinking, we have to be really, really careful, okay? Because there's two types of energy, right? There's negative energy or critical energy, and then there's positive energy. And of the two, one is really, really contagious. One is really, really bad and can take you down a rabbit hole that nobody ever should go down. And that is the negative, the critical thinking, those people that are mean, right? You know what I'm talking about? It's one of the reasons that that we talk about water cooler, or we don't have any room for gossip in any of our organizations, period, end of story, right? Because we know that one negative comment has a ripple effect that dwarfs positive ones. In fact, I might actually challenge those people that don't believe that to think about the whole, she's always so just positive, right? Like we say it with disdain, don't we? Oh, Pollyannish. I even heard somebody say it was the Todd and Pony show, right? So like the reality is that people that are positive make people that are negative uncomfortable a lot of the times. And the reason for that is because those people haven't identified yet that the negative energy is in fact contagious. Okay, so let's talk about how to fix that, because it can be fixed. Number one, we have to be very, very clear. We have to identify, hey, listen, this is something that is a problem. Yes, it's also a superpower. I've just covered that. So what do? We have to reboot. We have to reprogram. Think of it like your phone, right? Like I need to upgrade the software so that I can identify it. Let me tell you what it doesn't do. It's not something that happens overnight. This reprogram, this change, it's not something that happens overnight, and it's certainly not something that happens by accident, right? It requires intention. It requires like consistency and discipline. It requires the humility to be able to say, hey, I see things through a negative lens. It's me. It's not those people out there, it's me, because the reality is there is no crap more powerful than who? You. It requires you to be humble. It requires you to focus. It requires stupid determination, because you can't get away from you, right? Like if Teresa is in a bad mood, I can just, which never happens, right? But I can just leave, right? I can just say, hey, I'm out. Okay. I can't leave myself. It's horrible, right? And boy, you and I both know, like our minds are amazing tools. Like they will filter and they will spin and they will talk ourselves into stuff. Like it's stupid, right? So as a result of that, you've got to be focused. You've got to be determined. And the other thing is you got to ask for help. Like you need a coach. You can need a therapist, right? But you need somebody that will hold you accountable to all of those things. So if you need that person, if you are unable to reprogram, upgrade your software, reboot your system, go pay someone for it. It's that critical. It is that important that you understand that if you have a negative slant, that you get it in check, that you edit it, the information that it's providing, that you work on how you see what's happening around you so that you can identify the areas of opportunity. Because as you know, every challenge that I see, I don't see challenge, I see opportunity. I just happen to, because of my lens, I see more challenges, i.e. more opportunities, okay? So remember, the most powerful person in your life is you. So make sure that you are a positive influence on you. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll see you later.